Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, we are going to talk about the most requested topic, which is scalping in the markets. Several traders really love to stay short in the markets. They don't want to swing, or actually intraday is something that is very long for them. So I've been seeing several messages in my Telegram inbox flooding with people requesting for scalping strategies. So this is basically going to be an M15 strategy which can easily be followed up and applied. Anyone who has or who can operate the MT4 or MT5 can trade this, and you can as well trade it on TradingView or on any other trading platforms. So in summary, we will be trading the intraday M15 cycle. But before we jump into the whole video, be sure to check out our free Telegram channel using the link in the description box below. On that note, please do not be swayed by people who come with different links in the comment section. They are all scammers who are trying to get a chance. So do not fall for them. Forewarned is forearmed. So in this video, we are going to define the strategy, which is basically the simple M15 scalping strategy. Then we will talk about the entry parameters on how you enter the markets. Then we'll give you the trade examples, and the last but not least, the conclusion on trading this particular strategy. But before we jump into the content, we have this small announcement. We are holding the November Black Friday discount, and for those who would love to get our services, we have a discount running throughout November. So for $85 you get a recorded full class that was actually taken from the October masterclass, then a peak identification template which helps you find possible points of market reversals, then 1 year access to our Telegram VIP signals channel where we share signals and setups, that is entries, stop losses and targets. And to get this, use the link in the description box below, which will lead you to our free Telegram channel, and within that you get our contact details. So the first thing is strategy definition, and in this strategy, bias determination can be attained by the peak identification template if you have it, or manual level count, or the EMA theory. So you can as well trade without bias determination, but you will slightly decrease your accuracy and will employ the usual indicators, which are the 5, 13, 50, 200 and 800 EMA, which is exponential moving average, applied to close. So the first step is to attain bias using any of the three methods that we have talked about, and as well you may not or ignore the bias determination step. So if you have our template, first see an H4 dot, and straight after it is fired, go straight to the M15 time frame, and on that M15 time frame, look for a 1350 EMA crossover after the H4 dot, and you may also look for this without the H4 dot. So by looking for it without the template, we are just referring to see a 1350 EMA crossover on the M15 time frame and wait for a pullback to the 50 EMA. So observe price pullback to the 50 EMA and enter after candle closure below the 50 EMA. So here are the entry parameters as well as a summary of what we've just said. The high of day or low of day must be clearly seen. You have to see the high of day, right, or low of day. By high, it's basically the highest point or the highest price that has been issued for that particular day. Then after that is set, a 1350 EMA crossover must be seen. So as the price is now shifting away from the HOD or LOD, you need to see a 1350 EMA crossover. Then a price pullback to the 50 EMA must also be seen. after an HOD or LOD has been set, you need to see price coming back to the 50 EMA. So this will be on the 50 EMA and price pulling back to the 50 EMA after an LOD has been issued. So an entry will be made after a candle closes below the 13. This will be, in this case, you make your entry after a candle closes below the 13, and stop loss will be around 15 pips, but must be above retesting structure. So it should be above the retesting structure, which is this one, or below the retesting structure in this market context. So the take profit will be 25 to 30 pips away from the entry point. So let's say you've made your entry here, your take profit will be 25 to 30 pips from the entry point, right? 25 or 30 pips away from the entry point. So here are now the examples of the type of trade that we are talking about. In this case, the low of day is this one, of course, but it's actually derived, it's coming from this previous day. After the low of day has been issued, the next thing is now to see a 13 in blue, in red, and a 50 in blue crossover. After that crossover, a clear price flow and price pulling back to the 50 EMA and candle closure above the 13 will be our entry trigger. Then in this case, the market went up. This is another example on Euro GBP. The first thing is to see the high of day. The high of day was issued. After that, we had a 1350 EMA crossover, a perfect price flow, and a pullback and candle closure below 13, and price went in our direction. This was EURAUD. The first thing, as we have said, high of day was this one. After high of day, a 1350 EMA crossover, price flow, and price pullback to the 50, and after that we see price closure, candle closure below the 13, and the market went into our direction. So someone may say we were only snipping on those parts where the market played well. As I always say, all the strategies on this channel, you need to first backtest them for you to see if it is conducive for you. So before you jump into a real account trading this strategy, please backtest it and see if it is conducive for you. The accuracy rate is pretty well with this particular strategy. What you only need to do is to wait for these conditions to be satisfied. Then this is another EURAUD, high of day at this point. After that we had a flow. After that flow, a retest of the 50 at this point and candle closure below the 13, and the market went into our direction. This is USDCHF. We had high of day, which was actually set on this particular day, a floor where we had a 1350 EMA crossover, and the market went back to the 50 EMA. We had 1, 2, 3 points where the market was actually attempting to move away from the 50. So in this case, we are saying this occurred in the tradable session, which is the London session, and candle closure below the 13 was going to give us an entry point, and the market went into our direction. Then this is a pound against dollar. As we have said, the first thing is to locate the low of day in this particular case and see a 1350 EMA crossover, market flow, and then market retesting of the 50 EMA. In this case, we can see that there was a very sharp spike. If ever this happens, look to see a price pullback to 50% of the vector candle. That is where you make your entry, and our entry was going to be made at this point, and the market went into our direction. So this is how you trade using the M15 time frame. It's very simple, especially if you have our pick identification template. It will basically be telling you the point where there is higher probability of market reversal, and as soon as you see that dot, wait for that crossover and then price pullback, and you are done. You'd see that your trading will definitely change. On that note, we come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our free Telegram channel. The link is right in the description box below.